When you're working with measures of center, you'll first begin working with percentiles and quartiles. So percentiles, these are used to separate sorted data into 100 equal parts. And the key here is that you must make sure that your data is already sorted from least to greatest. And what this does is it compares a data value, which we call X, to other values. Another key aspect is that you need to remember that your sorted data does not start at 0 and go to 100. So while there are 100 equal percentiles, data can start anywhere. For example, let's consider this rectangle as 100% of your data. Once you sort your data values, the very minimum value here is going to be the lowest value, while the largest value in your data set is going to be considered the maximum value. If you cut your data set directly in half, where you have an equal number of data values to the left and an equal number of data values to the right, the value directly in the middle is considered the median value. Now we can consider the lower half of our data, and now we can cut that in half. Cutting that data in half means that we have now 25% of our data on one side and 25% of our data on the other side. This is considered the first quartile, or Q sub 1. This Q sub 1 value represents the bottom 25% of the data. Again, that means that 25% of our data values fall in this area. If I look at the upper half of my data set, the Q sub 3 value now cuts that in half. We say that the third quartile represents the bottom 75% of the data because 75% of the data falls below this value. You can also say that the Q sub 3 represents the top 25% of the data, depending on where you start looking at. So remember, when you're looking at a data set, you are taking the number of values and cutting those up into chunks representing the quarters of the number of data values that you have.